Hey guys, today we're going to do a cooking video, and this is my take on an Ohio shredded chicken sandwich. Growing up in Ohio, I had these a lot, and I never realized what a hyper-regional food they were until I moved away from Ohio. So we're going to recreate it here with these ingredients. Okay, so our ingredients are as follows. Some chicken or turkey broth. This is some homemade turkey broth I made at Thanksgiving. 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers. 5 or 6 cans of canned chicken. You can use also about 3 chicken breasts. But I had these in the pantry. They were on sale in a 6-pack. So I went with the canned chicken, some black pepper. And now here's where my take takes over. I'm going to do 1 can of regular cream of chicken soup and 1 can of this spicy buffalo style cream of chicken soup, just to add a little bit of spice to it. And also our other spices: onion powder, garlic powder, poultry seasoning, and some umami seasoning or mushroom powder. You could also, if you don't have the spicy style cream of chicken soup, you could add a little cayenne to this if you want a little heat, or just leave it out if you don't like a lot of heat. Okay, so after draining the chicken, we're left with about 35 ounces or roughly 1,000 grams of chicken. Now you can use the chicken water that comes in the can, but I have this homemade turkey stock that I'm going to use instead, so I measured how much water came out, and that's the amount of stock I'm going to use. But I like using my homemade stock instead. And let's check on that stock now and see how melted it is. It's getting pretty melted. That's pretty good. So what I did is I drained out the water and I measured it, and it was about 3 cups. So I'm going to add about 3 cups of stock. And like I said, you can just use the water. It's still going to add some chicken flavor. And also, I went ahead and measured out my spices here. And what I did is I used 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. And now on the umami seasoning, if you want to add it, use it sparingly. I used 1/4 teaspoon because a little bit goes a long way. So there's our seasonings here. And I think we're ready to do the crackers. Okay, so this is 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers. Some people use a box of stovetop stuffing. Other recipes I've seen call for an equal amount of like wavy potato chips. Just something, you need something to absorb all of that moisture and kind of thicken it up. So I'm using Ritz crackers because they were a lot cheaper than potato chips at my grocery store. So what we're going to do is put them in the Ninja and give them a blitz here. They don't have to be super fine, but you want you don't want them super rough either. So let's just throw the rest in there. And you can do this by hand too if you want. Just crush them up by hand. I really like this Ninja blender though. It works really good. Not a sponsor. So just a few pulses. That looks pretty good right there. And now this is going to cook for several hours, so they're gonna melt in and absorb into the sauce. So I think we're ready to go ahead and put everything in the crock pot. Okay, let's go ahead and put everything in the pot. We have our chicken here. Again, about 6 10-ounce cans. And again, this recipe is easy to cut in half. if you don't want to make such a large batch. So there's our chicken. Now I've got about 2.5 cups of chicken or turkey stock. I'm using my homemade turkey stock just because I had it here. And we can always add more later if it gets too dry. So we're going to start with 2.5 cups. And now, 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. And in this case, my personal take on this recipe, we're going to do 1 can of spicy buffalo style to add a little bit of zing to this recipe. So we'll put both of these cans in here. That creamy, or the spicy buffalo is a little more runny than your normal cream of chicken soup. In go our spices. You'll notice I didn't add any salt to this. There's a little bit of salt in that umami seasoning. There's salt in these Ritz crackers that I'm putting in now. And there's a little bit of salt in the chicken. So we're going to let this cook. And we will add salt later if we need to. We'll check it for salt later. So go ahead and set this down on. You can set it on low if you want to. If you have time to cook it for 6 to 8 hours, or you can put it on high and it'll be ready in about 2 to 3 hours. But we're just going to stir this up like this, and every once in a while come back, stir it up and kind of break up those chunks and into more of like a shredded texture. You can do that right at the beginning if you want. I like to let it cook for a while and then they become a little bit easier to break up. But that's about it. And like I said, we're going to let it cook for a few hours here. I'm going to do mine on high actually for a few hours. And every 30 minutes we'll come back and stir it. And at the end we'll taste it for seasoning to see if it needs any more salt or any other seasonings. And then it'll be ready to serve. So we'll see you guys back in a little bit. Alright guys, we're about 45 minutes in here, and all I've done is I'm just taking a potato masher here. You can use whatever tool you want, but we're kind of just breaking up that chicken. And you can see it's kind of getting to that shredded consistency. That's what we really want. We just want to break that chicken up as it becomes more tender as it cooks. Just break it up, stir it around, and we'll come back in another 30 to 45 minutes and check on it again. Okay guys, it's been about 2 hours. We're going to check on our shredded chicken here. And it's looking pretty good. The chicken is breaking down into those little shredded bits like we want. It's a little runny. So what I did is I actually ran to the store and I got some store brand potato chips. These were only $2.99 a bag instead of $7.99 a bag like the name brand. So we're going to take 75 grams of these crushed up potato chips. We're going to add them in here. Just to help thicken that up a little bit, we're going to let this go for about 1 more hour. It's been about 2 hours. We're going to let it go for 3 hours. We're going to leave the lid off for a little bit just to help it thicken up a little bit. And then I think it's going to be ready. So we'll see you back in a little bit. Okay guys, it has been about 3 hours. And our shredded chicken has thickened up nicely here. We're going to give it one final stir. And what I like to do is I like to take a brioche bun and butter it up a little bit. And we're going to throw it here, just toast it up real quick. And we'll plate up a sandwich here. Okay, so here's our toasted bun. We're going to take a little bit of the shredded chicken. put it on the bun, and then what also a little trick I like to do, something that I grew up with, is to put a little slice of American cheese on there and let that get nice and melty. And there's your shredded chicken sandwich. And as always, I like to eat it with some potato chips on the side. And there it is. There's the Ohio shredded chicken sandwich. Real easy recipe. Simple crock pot meal. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time on Cooking Videos.
That's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. And don't forget the Joker.
Motorhead.